going to be creating the wiring harness to retrofit the LCI stereo surround, the one that has the LEDs in it. So it's something that came out on the facelift with the F30s. So older F30s didn't get it. If you do have the lighting package, you can install the same surround. It'll have the LEDs around the surround. But then if you want to be able to tap into the power to get the LEDs to light up with the car, you need to create a wiring harness. So I'm taking the instructions that I found on the F30 bimmerpost.com. There's a forum out there. And the one guy that did this first, I think he's the one that did it first, he was kind enough to actually put out on the forum really good instructions on how to do it, and even a shopping list. So I bought all the parts that he's got. What I'm going to do is I'm going to do it on video and then post it up here as well, so you have his really good instructions and then watching me do it, hopefully successfully. So the first thing I'm going to do is take the female ends, the wires with the female ends on them, and plug them into the smaller adapter. Push them in there until they snap. You should have 3 of those. Okay, so those are in there now. And then I'm going to plug the 3 with the male adapters into one of these parts here. And the way I'm doing it is, you'll see it kind of has a little bit of a, come on focus, it has a little bit of a higher end up here, and then it kind of goes lower. So I'm setting that in this way where when I crimp this down, it'll actually hold them in. I believe that's the way to do it. So then it clips. Alright, so what you end up with then is you've got a connector like this and a connector like that. The trick is to make a Y where now both the cables come together into this one here. So one of the important things you need to do is make sure that you know which pins are which. So the wires that we've got are all black, but you just need to kind of keep track of and make sure you're doing pin 1, pin 2, and pin 3 to the corresponding 1, 2, and 3 on the other wires, and then putting it in here. So what I'm going to do next is, as per the instructions, he's saying to trim them down to about 10 centimeters each. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to measure out 10 centimeters, clip the cables, so that's all good. Okay, so as I said, now the trick is to get both of these meeting up into this one. So that's where these pieces are going to come in handy. These are male ends to put on to here. What you're going to have to do is strip a little of the end of the wire off. Make sure again that you're doing wire 1 to 1, 2 to 2, and 3 to 3, and twist those together, each of them, and then crimp them on, crimp these pieces on. Then we'll be ready to insert it in here. So now I got the first one crimped. I'm gonna try to carefully crimp the other ones. They're hard to see, so I got a magnifying glass to try to see where I was, make sure I was crimping in the right area. last thing you want it to do is to come apart when you're trying to put it all together. Alright, here's the last one. I see the ends out there, so that's good news. Alright, so I think it's built. Next step is right now, because it's freezing outside, so don't really want to go outside. But alright, there it is. So I'll come back and do the surround and use this in a little bit. Well, it's freezing cold here today, and snow on the ground. Can't even tell I shoveled. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to start my car up so I can work in a somewhat warm car while I'm changing this out. So the car's all warmed up now because, like I said, it was cold outside. So I'll let it run for a little bit. What I'm going to do is pull this piece of the dash off all the way across here, and then that'll give me access to pull this down also. What we're doing is getting this screw here, one screw there, and then there's two screws also underneath this trim piece. So what I'm going to do, I can probably just pull it with my hand. Be very careful because it gets thin towards the end here. So I always like to pull the thicker, more substantial piece first, just so I'm not just pulling real hard on the small skinny one. So alright, let me get this off and then I will start the camera again because it's hard to do this with one hand while holding the camera. So this part's off. We've got little clips that are holding it in place, and once you do that, there is a electrical connection to unhook, and then you'll be able to put that aside. I'm going to see if I can just prop it up there and not disconnect it. Alright, so this is the piece that we're going to be taking out. And what you want to do is disconnect the electrical from behind it. And then once we'll do that, I'm going to actually transfer these parts, the radio surround and the air conditioning surround, or modules actually, into the new surround. So I'm gonna pause this. I'll do this inside the house where it's warmer. Well, things don't always go as well as planned, and I had anticipated taking the whole section out, undoing the wires, and then doing this in the warmth of my home, but I couldn't get this wire undone, and it's getting kind of cold out here, so I just decided to take the trim tools and pry it out of the existing surround. What you're going to have to do is, if you look at the surround, there's a number of clips. Some are facing into this hole here, and some are facing into the bottom hole from the bottom here. So you just got to work your way around with a trim tool or a small screwdriver and carefully get those clips to let loose, and then start pushing on the front part of these pieces to push it through the back. So at least that's what I did. So this is the surround that came with the car. It's kind of the matte black. What I'm going to be doing now is, I guess I'll just finish the rest of this inside my car, hopefully. So I've got, this is the new one. It's got the plastic wrap on it, and it's got the wiring harness that I had put together in the first part of this video. So what I'm going to do now is I'm just going to take these two pieces, the stereo and the air conditioning modules, and they should snap right in the back of here. So let me do that with two hands, and then I will join back on the video when I get that done. What I did is I put the new surround back in. I left the plastic over it just because I didn't want to risk scratching it with a screwdriver or something stupid. That would really suck, having a brand new glossy black surround in there with a scratch, so that kind of pissed me off. So what I'll do, I'm just going to leave that on there until I get it all hooked up, pull it off. It's kind of rewarding, like you're pulling the plastic wrap off a cell phone screen. So I'll pull that off then, and then we'll test it out. The last thing we need to do is, so this cable here is the actual LED. You can see it lit up. It's the LED for the cup holders. So this piece goes up under here and shines down on the cup holders. What we're going to do then, and this is where this wiring harness comes in. I've already got it plugged in to the new surround. I'm going to unplug this wire, which is going to be our kind of our power source, and plug that end into here, and then plug this end into that LED. So the end result will be, we'll have the LEDs and the controls with either amber or white on the existing LED, and then also the LED that comes with this surround. So I'm gonna do that real quick, and I don't think I can do that with, let me try to put it here and you can maybe see what I'm doing. So you want to lift up here, this little tab. Once you lift that up, you can wiggle this LED loose. So there's the LED. I'm going to disconnect that. Connect it back into here. And then connect this LED back into here. End result will be have LED power here. And as you can start to see, we've got the glow already down here. So a little spoiler alert, you're already seeing what it's going to look like when it's done. Now, let's put this LED back in here. Snaps into place. Verify that you can actually see it. And then try to tuck these wires. And here's the end result. I'll get some pictures in the evening when it's not so bright out. Then you can actually really see the difference. But you'll see, you can see right here the orange coming around the surround, and then there's also orange coming down here. Get a good, you're not gonna be able to see in the light, but let's see if I can capture it changing to sport mode. There you go. Again, it's not as visible in the daytime as it is at night, but it looks pretty good. I think the gloss black looks really good with the rest of the trim I've got. It looks perfect. It's the same. So it actually looks a lot better than stock. So Alright, I will put some before and afters of, you know, a nighttime shot so you can see what the difference actually is, and then that's it. A couple things to note: this panel under here doesn't fit real tight on mine. I'm not sure about others. So one thing, if you've got too many cables in there, it's definitely going to push it out and it's going to keep falling. So that's one of the issues I had. What I did was I took the wires that came with this surround and tucked them up underneath here, you know, behind it, and got as many wires out of this area as possible and just tucked up under there, and that allowed me to push it, and it clipped shut finally. So that's the end result in the daytime. I'll take another one at night. Thanks. So here's the before look. This is the ambient lighting for an F30 without the LCI plate in it. Let's look at the finished product. It's a little darker now, so you can see the illumination around the surround. Then what I'm going to do is I'm going to change it to sport mode, and you should see it change white. There it goes. Alright, well, it's cold. I'm going back in the house. If you like this video, show me a little love, hit the like button, subscribe if you want to see some more videos like this. Probably gonna be doing some upgrades to the Mini Cooper, and also some upgrades to this F30 and also my E90. So, alright, thank you very much for watching. Hopefully this helps. If there's any comments you want to leave with suggestions of other mods for these cars, let me know. If it's something I can pull off that I want to do, then I'd love to tape it for you guys. Alright, thanks a lot. Bye.